N. Koteshwar Singh, Chief Justice High Court of J&K and Ladakh and Patron-in-Chief of J&K Legal Services Authority, Honorable Shri Justice Tashi Rabastan, Judge High Court of J&K and Ladakh and Executive Chairperson of J&K Legal Services Authority, Professor Nilofer Khan, Honorable Vice Chancellor University of Kashmir, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Brara, Special Guest, Professor Farooq Ahmad Masoodi, Dean Academic Affairs University of Kashmir, Professor Irshad Ahmad Nauchu, Dean Research University of Kashmir, Dr. Nisar Ahmad Mir, Registrar University of Kashmir, Professor Pvt Bande, Head and Dean School of Law University of Kashmir, dignitaries of the DICE, Deans of various schools University of Kashmir, Heads of various departments University of Kashmir, Directors of various directorates University of Kashmir, Officers of the University, Administrative Staff High Court of J&K and Ladakh, Faculty Members School of Law University of Kashmir, Non-Teaching Staff University of Kashmir, and my dear students, very good afternoon. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome all of you to this inaugural ceremony of the project on establishment, revival and operation of legal aid clinics in Jammu and Kashmir. Before going any further, I would request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Nilofer Khan, to present a bouquet to our Chief Guest, Honorable Shri Justice N. Koteshwar Singh, Chief Justice High Court of J&K and Ladakh. Thank you, ma'am. I would again request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Nilofer Khan, to present a bouquet to our guest of honor, Honorable Shri Justice Tashi Rabastan, Judge High Court of J&K and Ladakh. Thank you, ma'am. I would now request Professor Pvt Bande, Head and Dean School of Law University of Kashmir, to present a bouquet to our guest of honor, Professor Nilofer Khan, Honorable Vice Chancellor University of Kashmir. Thank you, ma'am. I would now request Professor Anisa Shafi, Dean Students Welfare University of Kashmir, to present a bouquet to our special guest, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Brara. Thank you, ma'am. The issues related to facilitating effective access to justice to all have been raised by our President, Shrimati Draupadi Murmu, as well. In fact, the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Shri Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, while quoting her, recently said that her words have inspired the legal fraternity to widen the access to justice across the country. I would now request Professor Pvt Bande, Head and Dean School of Law, University of Kashmir, to formally welcome the guests. Madam, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Shri Justice N. Koteshwar Singh, Chief Justice High Court of J&K and Ladakh and Patron-in-Chief of J&K Legal Service Authority. Honorable Shri Justice Tashi Rabastan, Judge High Court of J&K and Ladakh and Executive Chairperson of the J&K Legal Service Authority. Professor Nilafar Khan, Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Kashmir. Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, Special Guest. Professor Farooq Ahmad Masoodi, Dean Academic Affairs, University of Kashmir. Dr. Nisar Ahmad Mir, Registrar, University of Kashmir. Dignitaries of the dais. Deans of various schools, University of Kashmir. Heads of various departments, University of Kashmir. Directors of various directorates, University of Kashmir. Administrative staff, High Court of J&K and Ladakh. Officers of the university. Faculty members. On establishment, revival, and operation of legal aid clinics in Jammu and Kashmir. Free legal aid service is an inalienable element of reasonable, fair, and justice procedure. School of Law, University of Kashmir, today on 11th April 2023 is holding inaugural ceremony of the legal aid project on establishment, revival, and operation of legal aid clinics in Jammu and Kashmir. This project aims to raise legal awareness amongst the people and in particular to educate weaker sections of this society. It will raise legal awareness about rights, benefits, and privileges guaranteed by social welfare legislations and other enactments as well, as various administrative programs and measures initiated in this regard. The project will be committed to bridging the gap and making legal service accessible to all segments of our society. It is a momentous occasion for the School of Law today, as we are privileged to be hosting the Honorable Chief Justice of High Court of J&K and Ladakh. It is a rare moment in the annals of School of Law when the leading rights of the judiciary have graced us with their august presence. Honorable Shri Justice N. Koteswar Singh, Chief Justice High Court of J&K and Ladakh, and Honorable Shri Justice Tashi Rabastan, Judge High Court of J&K and Ladakh, your presence today is a source of inspiration for the students as well as faculty of the School of Law, University of Kashmir. We in the School of Law have constantly strived to promote excellence in the realm of promoting legal education in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. The School of Law is one of the oldest institutions of legal learning in North India, boasting of the checkered past. This school has over the years produced judges, legal luminaries, academicians, and bureaucrats who have made a mark in the society. We in the School of Law have been at the forefront of promoting access to justice to all. And in this endeavor, we have cultivated a practice of conducting a variety of off-campus activities like legal literacy programs, legal aid workshops, and awareness programs. Constitution of India under Article 39A mandates for free legal aid to the poor and weaker sections of the society. Article 14 and 22, Clause 1 also makes it mandatory for the state to ensure equality before law and a legal system which promotes justice on a basis of equal opportunity to all. In view of these constitutional provisions, National Legal Service Authority of India was formed on 9th November 1995 under the authority of the Legal Service Authorities Act 1987 to provide free legal service to deserving candidates. Today's inaugural ceremony marks the start of one such endeavor to promote the ideal of justice for all. The legal aid clinics envisaged under the project will act as a catalyst for providing legal services to downtrodden and needy sections of the society. Now I take this opportunity to welcome our Chief Guest, Honorable Justice N. Koteswar Singh, Chief Justice, High Court of J&K and Ladakh, and our guest of honor, Honorable Shri Justice Tashi Rabastan, Judge, High Court of J&K and Ladakh, for being with us in spite of their busy schedule. I would be failing in my duties if I do not place on record the unstinted support offered by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Nilafar Khan, in the initiation of this project. Ma'am, without your support, this event would not have been possible. I welcome you, ma'am, to this inaugural session. I also take this opportunity to welcome worthy Dean Academic Affairs, Professor Farooq Ahmad Masoodi, and worthy Registrar Dr. Nisar Ahmad Mir to this inaugural session. I also welcome the administrative officials from the High Court of J&K and Ladakh and other dignitaries of the dais, especially our special guest, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, for gracing the occasion. I also welcome all the deans, heads, university officers, faculty members, and my dear students to this inaugural session. I would also like to put on record my appreciation of the hard work undertaken by Dr. Yasin Wani in securing conceptualizing this path-breaking project. It is my earnest hope that this project would provide instrumental in promoting the constitutional idea of justice for all. I once again wholeheartedly welcome all the dignitaries on and off the dais. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for formally welcoming our guests. Your Lordships, I feel it appropriate to begin by invoking the memory of late Justice V.K. Krishna Iyer, who said that a society is guilty if anyone suffers unjustly. Your Lordships, today is an appropriate occasion to keep this thought in mind. The project that we are undertaking finds its roots in Article 39A of the Indian Constitution and within the mandate of National Legal Services Authorities Act 1987. Your Lordships, the primary objective of this project is to establish, revive, and operate legal aid clinics in Jammu and Kashmir. These legal aid clinics will act as centers to carry out the mandate and obligation under the National Legal Services Authorities Act 1987 and to ensure that the rights of beneficiaries therein are protected and preserved. Your Lordships, initially the project will see setting up of 5 legal aid clinics, 1 in School of Law, University of Kashmir, and 1 each in the 4 affiliated law colleges to the University of Kashmir. 5 coordinators, 5 panel lawyers, 25 paralegal volunteers, 10 pro bono members will be engaged to carry out and implement the requirements of this project. Your Lordships, the activities of the project will include offering free legal aid to the needy segments of the society, promoting alternative dispute redressal mechanisms, organizing legal awareness programs wherein 20 legal literacy programs shall be organized in 10 districts of Kashmir, 2 in each district within a span of 1 year, organizing legal aid camps wherein 20 legal aid camps shall be organized in 10 districts, 2 in each district within a span of 1 year, generating awareness about fundamental rights, directive principles of state policy and fundamental duties, offering basic legal training to the volunteers at community level, engaging panel lawyers for the protection of rights, adoption of villages as a part of community outreach, organizing workshops, seminars and special lectures in degree colleges of 10 districts of Kashmir. Your Lordships, the project director will constitute a supervisory monitoring body known as Steering and Oversight Committee to ensure uniform implementation of the project. Outreach units will ensure monthly reporting to the Steering and Oversight Committee. After 3 months, the data will be collected from all stakeholders to monitor progress at different levels. I would now request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Niloofar Khan, to address the audience. Madam, please.
Very good afternoon to everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Namaskar. Our chief guest for today's event, Honorable Justice N. Koteswar Singh, the Honorable Chief Justice of the High Court of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh and Patron-in-Chief of J&K Legal Services Authority. Guest of Honor, Honorable Justice Tashi Rabastan, Honorable Judge, High Court of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh and Executive Chairperson, J&K Legal Services Authority. Madam Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Brara Ji, our revered guest of honor. Other distinguished members and officers from the legal fraternity, Registrar General J&K High Court and Ladakh, Secretary, District Legal Services Authority, Srinagar, Principal Secretary to Honorable Chief Justice. From our university, our Dean Academic Affairs, Professor Masoodi, Dean Research, Professor Irshad, Dean College Development Council, Professor Khurshid Ahmed Bhatt, other heads of the departments and deans of various faculties, other faculty members, Dr. Muhammad Yasin, the Director of Project on Establishment, Revival and Operation of Legal Aid Clinics in Kashmir, Professor Beauty Bante, Head and Dean, School of Law. Really, it's a great occasion for all of us to have been gathered over here, and I welcome you all to this important occasion where we are discussing a very important topic, which is revival of legal aid clinics in Kashmir. This event is very significant because we have with us for the first time in our university the Honorable Chief Justice N. Koteswar Singh as well as Justice Tashi Raban. Indeed, a great pleasure for us to have honorable judges to share their valuable insights on this very important program. The valued presence of Honorable Chief Justice and Justice Rabastan here, despite their immensely busy schedule, is a testimony to their unwavering concern and commitment for the welfare of youth, especially our young students from the School of Law. I'm glad that a School of Law is implementing this important project, which essentially involves 3 important components: establishment, revival, and operation of legal aid clinics in Kashmir. I must say that our School of Law has a rich legacy of producing legal luminaries who are serving in different important capacities, not only at the national level, but international level too. Some of its alumni have risen to become honorable chief justices, honorable justices, and distinguished lawyers of the Supreme Court and high courts in different parts of the country. From the day I assumed the charge of this university as the Vice Chancellor, this issue of legal aid clinics has been on my mind in view of its immense societal importance in the fast-changing scenario concerning justice delivery, legal education and legal literacy. Legal aid clinics were very much operational in our School of Law for few years from 2012, and our students from the department did quite well to spread legal awareness in different villages and schools across the valley. I very much remember that in coordination with different departments and even at the government level, many legal literacy programs were organized. As a result of starting of these clinics, our university had also bagged 2 projects from the Union Ministry of Justice. However, due to certain unfavorable circumstances, including COVID-19 pandemic, these legal aid clinics couldn't continue with the same pace. Therefore, we are here to revive the same and ensure the benefits of legal aid clinics reach the people at grassroots levels, which is very important. I am confident that our young law students will fully involve themselves for this social cause. From the perspective of an academician, I see legal aid clinics serving the twin purpose of imparting practical training to our young law students on the applicability of law and also in promoting their active involvement in educating people from underprivileged and weaker sections of society about their legal rights and entitlement to help increase their access to justice. We all know that the country's justice delivery system is today undergoing a digital transformation. Just 4 days ago, the Union Minister of Law, Mr. Kiran Rijiju, said that rupees 7,000 crore budget has been allocated by the Union government for a project on e-courts to make the country's judiciary fully digital and paperless. Information and communication technology, including now artificial intelligence, is being applied more and more in judicial domains to increase people's access to justice. Alongside, these strenuous efforts are being made to reduce the pendency of cases across various courts. Our eminent legal luminaries present here would be well aware of the fact that the backlog of cases in district and subordinate courts is reported to be heading towards a staggering 5 crore mark, going by the official figures, and nearly 70,000 cases are reported to be pending in the Supreme Court alone. The point is, amid this ongoing digital transformation in the country's judicial landscape, coupled with huge pendency of cases, the case for having strong, fully functional and proactive legal aid clinics become all the more strong. We therefore need to see how best we can utilize our young students, paralegals, scholars and pro bono lawyers to go to the remotest parts of the valley under this important project to raise awareness on legal rights and entitlements of the people, including specially able women who need our equal attention and focus. I am sure with such robust mechanism in place, we will see greater legal literacy at grassroots level to enhance people's access to justice. Such projects, I believe, help the university to fulfill its larger mandate of connecting with the society directly. Our university today has taken lead in implementing the National Education Policy 2020, which promotes this connect of universities with the society to address a host of social and environmental problems. I take pride in saying here that our university today figures among top 100 universities in the country, including the distinction of being accredited as A+ university by the National Assessment and Accreditation Council. We are also amongst 15 institutions chosen to host a Youth 20 event on climate change next month under G20 programs. I also take this opportunity to also inform this august house that the country has today put youth at the forefront of policy making under India's G20 presidency. In this context, I think legal aid clinics offer a unique opportunity to our young law students to provide a constructive policy inputs and utilize the Youth 20 platform to contribute to the nation building with their active participation. The final point that I would like to make is to see if we can explore the possibility of having legal aid clinics as a mandatory part of our curriculum in the School of Law, like a full-fledged subject with credits, as is the case with several law schools in the country. We can have our distinguished legal luminaries to guide us on this so that we can place the matter before the competent bodies. I once again welcome our Honorable Chief Justice, Justice N. Koteswar Singh, our Honorable Justice, Justice Tashi Rabastan, Madam Vijay Lakshmi, and all other legal professionals and students for joining this important program. I assure the university will fully ensure that the objectives of this project are fully realized. I will be personally monitoring the outcomes of this project. I would also put on record the efforts made by Dr. Yasin in coordinating with the state government, with the High Court functionaries and the university in having this program finalized, and I am very much hopeful that along with our 4 affiliated law colleges which are with our university, we will be able to move forward in this legal literacy program and will definitely continue. With these words, once again, thank you very much to all the dignitaries and all the officers.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your thoughtful address. Thank you for being the mentor and an inspiration for this program. Ma'am, without leadership and guidance, the program was impossible. Our guest of honor, Honorable Shri Justice Tashi Rabastan, did his graduation in LLB from University of Jammu. His Lordship was enrolled as an advocate on 6th March 1990 in Bar Council of Jammu and Kashmir. His Lordship was appointed as Additional Central Government Counsel for Jammu and Kashmir High Court Jammu Wing in September 1998 and continued till elevation. His Lordship has also remained as Panel Counsel for Union Public Service Commission New Delhi from April 2008 till 31st December 2011. His Lordship was appointed as Additional Judge of High Court of Jammu and Kashmir in 2013 and took oath of office on 8 March 2013. His Lordship was appointed as Permanent Judge of High Court of Jammu and Kashmir on 16th May 2014. His Lordship was appointed as Acting Chief Justice of High Court of J&K and Ladakh on 6 December 2022. We are grateful to His Lordship for agreeing to be with us today. I would request His Lordship to kindly address the gathering. Your Lordship, please.
Honorable Mr. Justice N. Koteswar Singh, Chief Justice of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh High Court and Patron-in-Chief of J&K Legal Services Authority. Professor Nilufar Khan, Vice Chancellor, University of Kashmir. Professor Beauty Bande, Head and Dean, School of Law. Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, Dr. Nisar Ahmad Mir, Registrar. Professor Farooq Ahmad Masoodi, Dean, Academic Affairs. Professor Khurshid Ahmad Bhatt, Dean, College Development Council. Professor Ishad Ahmed Nachu, Dean Research, all deans, heads, directors, and coordinators, all officers of the University of Kashmir, Mr. Shahzad Azim, Registrar General, Mr. M.K. Sharma, Principal Secretary to the Honorable Chief Justice, Mr. Amit Gupta, Member Secretary, J&K Legal Services Authority, Mr. Abdul Bari, Joint Registrar, High Court of Jammu and Kashmir, Srinagar Wing, Ms. Fauziya Paul, Secretary, Dalsa, Srinagar, officers of the Registry of the High Court of Jammu and Kashmir, faculty members, scholars, and my dear students. The topic for today's deliberation is establishment, revival, and operation of legal aid clinics in Jammu and Kashmir. At the outset, that the legal aid is neither help nor a charity, but it is a fundamental right and bedrock of justice enshrined by our founding fathers in the preamble of the Constitution. It is not only a duty but also an obligation of all the stakeholders to uphold and keep the promise made by the every single citizens to ensure that there shall be no discrimination on the basis of caste, creed, color, region, or religion as far as access to justice is concerned. To achieve this project, the focus of legal aid is on the distributive justice, effective implementation of welfare benefits, and elimination of social and structural discrimination against the poor. Thus, legal aid strives to ensure that the constitutional pledge is fulfilled in its letter and spirit, and equal justice is made available to the downtrodden and the weaker section of the society. It will not be correct to claim that the goal of the legal aid movement has been achieved, as there is a wide gap between the goal set and met as on date because of lack of required legal awareness and outreach. And one of the major obstacles is geographical vastness of this great nation, but this does not mean that the legal aid movement has not achieved any milestone. We are all familiar with the evolution and development of primary health centers or village clinics in the Department of Health. Legal aid clinics are basically an adoption and an effort of replicating the concept of primary health centers or village level clinic, where a person is attempted to be provided first assistance for his or her quest for justice. That may be in the form of advice or aid or assistance. Legal aid clinics are intended to be provide legal relief easily accessible to the indigent and backward sections of our society at their doorsteps, which are manned by paralegal volunteers, penal and pro bono lawyers engaged by the Legal Services Authority, who have sense of commitment, sensibility, and sensitiveness to the problems of common people. Paralegal volunteer connects an ordinary citizens in need of help with the lawyer who renders assistance and advice in case the question pertains to complex legal issues. The main thrust of legal aid clinic is to provide the basic legal services like legal advice and assistance in drafting of notice, replies, applications, petitions, etc. The lawyer manning the legal aid clinic will also attempt to resolve the disputes of the people in the locality, preventing the disputes from maturing into litigations. This will provide the lawyer in the legal aid clinic an opportunity to understand the difficulties faced by people in the distant villages for access to justice. As per NALSA Legal Aid Clinic Regulations 2011 and the instructions from time to time, the legal aid clinics are established in all the districts, in all the jails, law colleges, universities, villages and other community centers such as police station, juvenile justice institutions, old age homes. The jail clinic are functioning in the jails from a demarcated places provided within the jail premises, whereas the other clinics are functioning in the premises provided by the local self-government institution such as Panchayat, municipality, revenue office, etc. Panel lawyer and PLV are attached with these clinics to interact with the villagers to explain them the benefits of various welfare schemes formulated by the government and the legal services institutions and encourage them to resort to Lok Adalat mechanism for amicable settlement of their disputes. Legal aid clinics also act as an important source of information and assistance to the citizens to access to the beneficial and social schemes provided by the government. As and when a legal aid seeker approaches the legal aid clinic with some grievances, the para-legal volunteers with the help of panel lawyer provided suitable legal advice for address of his grievances and even help him to draft the necessary applications and submit it to the concerned authority. The PLVs also play a vital role in extending assistance to secure necessary documents from other departments. Like rest of the country, the legal aid clinics have been established in Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, and as on date, there are more than 220 clinics functioning across the length and breadth of the UT of Jammu and Kashmir. I am glad that many such clinics are functioning in different schools and colleges. Besides that, we have 197 legal literacy clubs functioning in different schools of Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir with an aims and object to making young students aware of basic laws and their legal responsibility in society. The legal aid clinics in all villages across the UT of Jammu and Kashmir must seek the help of local body institutions such as the village panchayat, not only for the purpose of accommodation but also for creating awareness amongst the people of the villages. We cannot overrule the vast impact these local institutions have on our people in the villages. Therefore, their assistance will be very handy and viable mode for reaching to a larger number of people. The legal services authorities also approach the print and electronic media for publicity of legal aid clinics already established in various districts. The idea of roping in law students through their respective universities and colleges in rendering legal services through establishment of legal aid clinics was a great idea, since it directly encouraged the young legal minds to be part of the missions of legal empowerment and also gives them the platform to interact with common masses and understand their grievances and legal requirement. As I have already mentioned that as on date we have more than 220 legal aid clinics in existence which are fully functional, and the footfall of the people in those clinics varies depending upon various factors such as populations of the area, awareness among the people of the area, person handling the said clinic. In fact, I will differ with the call given for revival of the clinics for the reason that the same are not only established but also are functional. However, I would acknowledge that there is a need to make the said clinics more vibrant and visible by spreading awareness by involving the law students. A comprehensive approach of institutions like universities can add further strength to the functioning of the legal aid clinics. Some of the important measures which can be held legal aid clinics are increasing the visibility and credibility of legal aid clinics among the public and the stakeholders, enhancing the motivations and commitment of lawyers and law students who volunteers for legal aid clinics, creating a network of supporters and donors who can provide financial and technical assistance to legal aid clinics, promoting a culture of pro bono work and social justice among the legal fraternity, developing a clear vision and mission statements that reflects the values and the goals of legal aid clinics, designing a logo or a slogan that captures the essence and benefits of legal aid clinics, creating a website and social media accounts that showcase the activities and achievement of legal aid clinics, organizing events and campaigns that raise awareness and generate interest among the potential beneficiaries and volunteers of legal aid clinics, building partnership and collaborations with other organizations and institutions that share similar objectives and values, giving national exposure to all persons, meaning legal aid clinics so that the better model is constantly evolved. I am glad that this university has come up with an initiative to strengthen the existing framework of legal aid clinics, and I congratulate the Vice President, the Vice Chairman, Vice Chancellor of the University of Kashmir for organizing such type of the programs, and I'm sure will certainly prove be another milestone to achieving the purpose for which we are assembled here today. With this, I'll conclude my speech. Thank you very much again for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Lordship, for your inspiring words. Before going any further, I would request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Nilofer Khan, to present a memento and a shawl to our Chief Guest, Honorable Shri Justice N. Koteshwar Singh, Chief Justice, High Court of J&K and Ladakh. Thank you, ma'am. I would again request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Nilofer Khan, to present a memento and a shawl to our guest of honor, Honorable Shri Justice Tashi Rabastan, Judge, High Court of J&K and Ladakh. Thank you, ma'am. I would now request Professor Beauty Bande, Handa Dean, School of Law, University of Kashmir, to present a memento and a shawl to our guest of honor, Professor Nilofer Khan, Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Kashmir. Thank you, ma'am. I would request Dr. Shahnaz, School of Law, University of Kashmir, to present a token of respect to our special guest, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi. Now I request our technical team to play Nalsa song. Thank you to our technical team. Our chief guest today, Honorable Shri Justice N. Koteshwar Singh, was born in 1963. His Lordship passed LLB from Delhi University in 1986 and practiced in the Honorable Supreme Court, the Guwahati High Court, and in the Central Administrative Tribunal. In 2007, His Lordship was appointed as the Advocate General of Manipur. His Lordship was elevated as an additional judge of Guwahati High Court in 2011 and was made permanent judge on 7th November 2012. His Lordship was appointed as Judge of Manipur High Court upon its creation on 23rd March 2013. His Lordship was subsequently appointed as the Acting Chief Justice of Manipur High Court from 2017 to to 2018. On 11th October 2018, His Lordship joined as a Judge of Guwahati High Court. His Lordship was appointed as Acting Chief Justice of Guwahati High Court from 21st September 2020 to 9th January 2021, then from 9th May 2022 to 22nd June 2022, and again from 12th January 2022 to 14th February 2022. His Lordship was appointed as Chief Justice of High Court of J&K and Ladakh on 15th February 2023. Your Lordship, it is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today. All of us are very pleased and honored that you agreed to accept our invitation to inaugurate the legal aid project on establishment, revival and operation of legal aid clinics in Jammu and Kashmir. Your Lordship, your presence here affirms your commitment to the cause of constitutional pledge of legal aid. May I now request our Chief Guest, Honorable Shri Justice N. Koteshwar Singh, Chief Justice High Court of J&K and Ladakh, to please enlighten us with his kind words.
Respected brother Justice Tashir Abzdan, Judge High Court of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, and also the Executive Chairperson of the J&K Legal Service Authority, respected Professor Nilofer Khan, Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Kashmir, respected Professor Beauty Bande, Head and Dean, School of Law, University of Kashmir, other Dean and Professors of this university who are off the dais, the registry represented by our Registrar General, Principal Secretary, then Member Secretary of the J&K Legal Service Authority, Joint Secretary, Secretary, Dalsa, and all the students, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, it is, I consider to be an honor and privilege to address this august gathering consisting of the faculty members and students of this renowned historical university, which has contributed so much for the growth of Jammu and Kashmir, particularly in the field of academy, producing great scholars. Of course, today's function is focused on the revival, establishment of legal aid clinics in Jammu Kashmir, with an active role to be played by University of Kashmir and students and faculty members, for which I must convey my heartiest congratulations to the Vice Chancellor, who has taken a lead role in this, and also to the Head and Dean of the School of Law, and particularly to Dr. Mohammad Yassin Wani, who has been taking a keen role in this. Of course, this is not to underplay the role played by all others in the university and also the students who have been part of this NALSA movement. Just at the beginning, we heard this NALSA theme. Unfortunately, we could not show the video. It was, if I remember, this was launched by the NALSA when Honorable Justice T.S. Thakur was the executive chairperson of NALSA. It's a very moving and a very inspiring video short clip which cuts across the entire country how the NALSA and the State Legal Service Authority and the District Legal Service Authority and also at the Taluka level are trying to reach out to the people to have access to the justice. I would invoke this verse, I would consider a verse, this preamble, when I start my speech. This preamble to the Constitution of India, we know this Constitution is very bulky, but yet these few lines encapsulates the ideals, the principles which has laid the formation of this Constitution and also which would guide us in our day-to-day life as a member of this country. Very short, but it gives a clue of how we intend to lead our life as citizens of a free country. It starts with these words, we the people. Of this, we the people, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into sovereign democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens, it's very important, to secure to all its citizens, everyone in this country, rich, poor, underprivileged, deprived, illiterate, discriminated, every citizen. What we have placed to ourselves? Justice. What kind of justice? Social, economic and political. Justice in all encompassing. Liberty of thought. What kind of liberty? Liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship. And also we had placed to secure to all the citizens equality of status and opportunity. It's a wonderful kind of preamble which gives a gist of what we intend to do as free citizens of this country. And of course, we have to secure fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and unity and integrity of the nation. This solemn pledge we made in 1949 and we implemented in the next year on 26th of January. That's why we celebrate 26th January every year in memory of this actual application of the Constitution. Now, how to secure to all citizens? We have more than 1.4 billion of population. You all know. There's still large number of people in this country after having obtained independence. Still, 75 years down the line, we still have many people who are absolutely unaware of the rights and privileges which has been granted, not by law also, but by the society in general. That's a big challenge. We are always accustomed to thinking Constitution always linked with courts, lawyers and judges. It is a misconception. Constitution is for everybody. It is a basic document. It is a basic guiding document.
Remember
not only for the law students, but also other non-law students, because it gives us a glimpse of what the ideals and principles which will guide us in our day-to-day life. Well, I'll just go a little bit to the next. I will not take much of time. These are all purely academic in nature. Fundamental rights, we go to the next, touch. But yes, next slide would be, yes, we remember as students of law, the most important parts of the fundamental right. That is Article 14, right to equality, Article 19, freedom, Article 29, 21, right to life. These are core of these. Without these, perhaps all other rights would pale into insignificance. What we call, and this, as law students and lawyers, we deal with these 3 articles the most, perhaps, in our. We all know that, yes, fundamental rights are guaranteed. This is something which took a lot of time for me as a student of law to understand what is the meaning of guarantee. How fundamental rights are guaranteed. Guarantee is something which always associate with the goods, commodities which we purchase in the market. It's guaranteed a good product. If a defect is there, it can be replaced. What does it mean by this expression, fundamental rights are guaranteed? By this we mean that all these fundamental rights, if there is a violation of it, we can always approach the court of law, and the court will ensure that your fundamental rights which have been breached, which have been violated, is restored. That's the meaning of guarantee. Now, of course, we'll just briefly go for a few seconds only these fundamental rights and the directive principle of state policy. We all know the difference between these two. One is enforceable, another is not enforceable, but a duty is cast upon the state to ensure that we have a just society and live up to the solemn promise we made to ourselves as enshrined in the Constitution. And Article 39A is one of those directive principles of state policy. This is the basis for all our activities. The state shall secure that the operation of the legal system promotes justice on a basis of equal opportunity, and shall in particular provide free legal aid by suitable legislation or schemes or in any other way to ensure that opportunities for securing justice are not denied to any citizen by reason of economic or any other disabilities. And in fact, this was added in 1979. It took a lot of time. 1947 we got independence. We inserted this in 1979. It took a lot of time to understand and to appreciate the ground reality, that there are still a lot of people in this country who have no access to justice. Now, operation of the legal system, we know there are a lot of criticism in the public domain. The courts are not being responsive. Courts are slow in disposing cases. A lot of cases which are pending. A lot of cases. There is a problem, yes. The other thing as mentioned also earlier by speakers, how digitization is going on in this judiciary to ensure that the legal system is more responsive to the need of the people. Equal opportunity, that's very important. That's what we are going to deal with this. How do we have equal opportunity if you are not equally positioned in your life? Some are rich who can afford to pay thousands and lakhs of rupees. I mean, don't get surprised. In fact, that was also mentioned by the law minister in one of his speeches a few days back. Some of the Supreme Court judges are lawyers, senior lawyers, very good lawyers. They charge lakhs of rupees for one appearance. Lakhs of rupees, 1 lakh, which is the salary of some of us, monthly salary of some of us, and annual salary of some of us. Lakhs of 1 day, 1 appearance. I mean, can we have this? Then do you think that we can afford to hire, engage those lawyers? Certainly not. That is why, in particular, shall in particular provide free legal aid by suitable legislation or schemes. That's how we'll come to our. Well, I thought I will briefly refer to this brief history. I will skip this because all students would know the brief history of the legal services. I will skip this. We'll skip to the next. I will not go too much into academics. These are part of academics. All the students of law would know. Yes. Next. Now, what triggers this? What triggered this 39A? What triggered this Legal Service Authorities Act? Next. Husainara Khatun versus State of Bihar. पहले का हुसैनारा खातून 1979 उसका पहले yes. In Bihar, unfortunately, the news item appeared. Many students would also know. 17 under trials were undergoing detention in various jails, out of which 9 were women. They were languishing in jails on petty charges, and for periods longer than if they had been convicted. It shook the conscience. What is happening? Same thing. The Supreme Court immediately intervened. Now, in that context, the Supreme Court observed a procedure which does not make available legal services accused, because the issue was that the same cropped up. Well, they have not engaged any lawyer, therefore they are in jail. They have not engaged any lawyer, therefore they cannot apply for bail. The court can't release them bail unless there is a bail application. What do? Supreme Court, of course, immediately directed their release. Then asked for a further study of the condition of the jail. And it was found that situation was really worrisome. Because it was focused in Bihar, it was found out that not only these 17, but there hundreds were languishing in jail. The same problem that they could not engage lawyers. And obviously they could not apply for bail, therefore they were not released. In that context, the Supreme Court said, why don't you provide lawyers to these under trial prisoners? Bihar government said, yes, we can provide, yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They said, the Supreme Court said, no, all these hundreds. The Bihar government said, no, sorry sir, we can't, we don't have the money. How can we pay these 100 lawyers for these 100 people? Sorry, we can't. And the Supreme Court said, no, sorry. When it comes to personal liberty, right to life, fundamental rights, this cannot be a reason to deny. That's how this thing started moving. 79, 81. Parliament, the matter was also agitated. It came in the public domain. The alarming situation not only in Bihar but most of the other parts of the country as well, where thousands of under trials were languishing without being represented by the lawyers who could not engage a lawyer. That's how it triggered the enactment of this act. Referring to Article 39, that's what Justice Bhagwati said in Husainara Khatun. That Article 39A also emphasizes free legal service is an inalienable element of reasonable, fair and just procedure for without it, a person suffering from economic or other disabilities would be deprived of the opportunity for securing justice. The right to free legal services is therefore clearly an essential ingredient of reasonable, fair and just procedure for a person accused of an offence, and it must be held implicit in the guarantee of Article 21. That's how we come to Legal Service Authorities Act 1987 when it was framed. When we read the preamble, please don't forget to read the preamble. It's very equally important. An act to constitute legal services authorities to provide free and competent legal services to the weaker sections of society, to ensure that the opportunities for securing justice are not denied to any citizen by reason of economic or other disabilities, and to organize lok adalats to secure that the operation of the legal system promotes justice on a basis of equal opportunity. Well, before I go further down, you may be wondering, why are we listening? We are not lawyers, we are yet to be lawyers. Some of you are law students, I understand. Some of you would like to join the lawyers, some would like to join as judges, some of you would like to join as the teachers. But this has nothing to do with, these are legal court matters. No. This is not only court matters. See, to end competent legal services, why do we always equate legal service with the litigation? That's why the role of these paralegal volunteers becomes important, with which we are discussing. Legal services does not necessarily mean the court of law. Yes, court of law, the judiciary is an integral part of it and also important part of any dispute resolution, where matters are brought to notice of the court by the lawyers and the judges would decide the rights of the parties. That's one way of saying that justice has been done. But judiciary or the courts are not the sole forum or a platform to render justice. Justice can be rendered here just now. If somebody, a student who has been wrongfully denied admission, the legal aid clinic can convince the Vice Chancellor, no ma'am, she has been wrongly denied. This is a better qualification, and the VC convinced will allow his or her admission. You don't have to go to court. Who will convince? Who will do this work? This legal aid, the legal aid will provide that forum. There, the students also can, without being lawyers, you can activate, see wherever, see, it's happening everywhere. See, justice is not to be confined to court of law. And doing justice is not only the act of the courts only, judges and lawyers. Doing justice can be at any level, any small place. A passenger having purchased a valid ticket, not allowed to board the ticket by the conductor, injustice has been done. You can intervene. Why the passenger is not being allowed to board the bus? He is allowed to board. Once you convince him, justice is done there. That's what justice is everywhere. The sense of the scope for doing something to ensure justice to all, everybody in the citizen, it's there everywhere. Many people unaware of that, they just resign to the fate. That's why we have to, the importance of the legal aid comes into the picture. Now, next, I just little bit of, I need to, I think, say the organized structure also, because we work in certain kind of structure in which the NALSA is mentioned. National Legal Service Authority, which has been created by under this Act, is the apex body which makes the all policy decisions, how the legal service has to be implemented in this country. And under NALSA, under their overall guidance, every state has to constitute a state legal service authority. There in the UT of Jammu and Kashmir, we have J&K Legal Service Authority. And under this state legal service authority, there in every district, there is a district legal service authority, DLSA. And in some talukas, also under a district. We have several talukas under a district, they also function. And of course, as mentioned, NALSA, the Patron-in-Chief, is generally the Chief Justice of India by virtue of the Act. And generally the senior most judge of the Supreme Court is the Executive Chairperson. And the state also, the Chief Justice is the Patron-in-Chief, and generally the senior most judge of the High Court is the Executive Chairperson. Then the DALSA in the District Legal Service, the Principal District Judge is generally the Chairperson, and it consists of other members including Deputy Commissioner, SP, and other members, social workers. So what this structure, you will see that it is not really part of the judiciary actually. Though the judges play a very important role, it is an institution, it is a forum created by the Act of the Parliament, the Legal Service Authorities Act of 1987, to provide this very broad-based approach to secure justice to everybody, which we have mentioned again and again in the preamble. Now, the key functions, these are there just to highlight. What are the key functions to provide legal aid to persons entitled under Section 12 of the Act? To encourage settlement of disputes by negotiation, arbitration, conciliation. Family disputes can be resolved. You can play a very important role. To carry out legal literacy campaign. You are the students. You are much, I think, the best equipped to carry out these functions. Then we have to create legal awareness about rights, benefits and privileges of the weaker sections of society. To undertake research, organize training in the field of legal services, and of course to conduct Lok Adalats. Brother Tashi knows very well that in the National Lok Adalats which we have conducted, we have involved the students of law also in that. Now, who are those persons who are entitled to legal aid? I mean, this is a statutory document. I just very fast go through this, run through this. Any member of the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, a victim of trafficking, human being, beggar or woman or child, a person with disability, a victim of mass disaster, industrial workman, a person in custody, anyone whose income is less than 3 lakhs. So these are the general categories of persons who are entitled to legal services. Now coming to a little bit more focus, in what way the students of law can get involved in a much more productive and concrete manner. If we go to Section 4K of the Legal Services Authorities Act, it provides the National Legal Services Authority, NALSA, to develop, in consultation with the Bar Council of India, programs for clinical legal education and promote guidance and supervise the establishment and working of legal services clinics in universities, law colleges and other institutions. Now, what is the object for this? Is as mentioned in the Act, to improve the clinical legal skills of the students, to inculcate an attitude amongst the students to provide effective legal services to the poor and marginalized people. Therefore, that's what I said in the beginning, that trying to do justice, trying to get something for a benefit of a person is not within the exclusive domain of the law court and the lawyers and judges. The students can play a very important role in this. Now, we have to effectuate this, the mandate of Section 4K, the NALSA has framed a scheme in 2013. That's what we are here. To set up nationwide collegiate legal services clinic to familiarize law students of the country, to the problems faced by the masses ignorant about their rights and remedies under the law, to reach out to the marginalized and vulnerable communities throughout the through the legal service clinics, to spread legal awareness, to expose students to community services, to introduce students to socio-economic impediments to access to justice. to provide students a platform for empowerment of socially and economically backward groups. Now, as per this, another scheme also 2013, which has been framed by the NALSA. So this we have already mentioned. How do we do? This will be in due course, will be dealt in detail with the legal service. You have our member secretary here also, secretary of the DALSA. We have paralegal volunteers. We can interact how to do it in a most effective manner. Now, I will not go too much into all these aspects which can one can in due course will deal with this. What I wanted to say, the importance of the legal services authorities, that please do not think that we are simply law students. What can we do? You can do a lot. You have been provided a legal forum. This is the constitutional, as per the Parliamentary Act, the scheme has been framed, bringing into our fold the students also in ensuring justice, what we have placed to ourselves as mentioned in the preamble. Now, one may think, what is this legal aid clinic? Sometimes it happens, of course, I am not talking about you, you are educated students. In many of the places, villages, when we talk of legal aid clinic, they sometimes think, oh, this legal authority are going to bring some hospital or something like a clinic. No, they will bring doctors, the clinic. So I said, no, this is not that clinic we are going to bring. But we have borrowed the word clinic, just like a clinic which takes care of immediately. See, every village doesn't have a hospital. Every town may not have a very AIMS or something like that, super specialist hospital. But accidents happen, illness happen, irrespective of whether you rich or poor, whether you are in city or village, because we are all human beings. We are same. We are vulnerable to all problems of life. So why do you reach out? Then if you have a problem, you go to a clinic. Then if you can, of course, go to the hospital directly, then you can go there. Say you have a snake bite. You may not have to rush all the way to Srinagar, this hospital. You may be just a district or that sub-health clinic. Now, similarly, if you have a problem in a village, we are talking of the village level, the marginalized section of people, the courts are far away, they don't know any lawyer, they don't know how the courts function, they have a problem just like any other person. There is a dispute amongst the neighbors, accidents take place. How do they do? They are absolutely clueless. There they can immediately go to this clinic and tell them about their problems. Then if the clinic can sort it out for them, very well. If the clinic cannot do it, they can refer to other legal service authority or at the state level. Then we can intervene for the person. If he is required to be given legal aid, lawyers free, then we will do. That's how the structure works. Therefore, in a sense, the clinics are meant to act as a bridge or to the people, the problem, the solution, the problem and solution, the bridge. That is what we provide. We do not provide immediate solution. We may not be able to provide immediate solution to the problem faced by the people at a grassroots level, but we certainly provide a bridge to the forum where he can get his problem redressed, his grievances redressed. So these are basic, in few words, the basic role which is to be played by the legal aid clinics. But as I mentioned again, it is a very important, not only a statutorily provided role, but for a student to be able to participate. When you deal with the problems of the people, then you understand their problem. If you are able to understand the problem, you share their sufferings also. That's a great, great kind of soothing thing for the person who is in need of the solution to the problem they face. thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. This is something as a vast. I consider a law to be something like an ocean. And there's so many things professors or teachers of law would know. So many aspects can be has to be covered, but of course that's not the occasion today. I can only thank the university, the law school, and the professors who have taken a very important role in shaping up, trying to revitalize, revive, and actualize and activate these legal aid clinics. I can say again that please do not think that just because you are not lawyers or not yet to be lawyers, you have no role to play. You can play a great role. You can, in fact, go out near the villages. You can adopt a village, find out, make a survey. What are the problems faced by those community? There are small things. The government is doing a lot of things, but then as you can understand, there is a problem of connectivity. Reaching out may be difficult. That's why we also play a big role in reaching out to the people for the benefits which have been created, framed by the government. That's how we make justice a reality for those deprived, for those underprivileged, for those who are illiterate, for those who are poor, have no means on their own to reach out for justice. Thank you very much again, and with my giving a patient hearing, and I would love to interact more, maybe some other occasion. I understand because of the Rosa, we like to wind up soon, but otherwise I would love to interact with the students on some other occasion on various issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Lordship. Thank you for your beautiful and informative presentation. Thank you, Your Lordship. I now request Dr. Shahnaz, School of Law, University of Kashmir, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening. Although I have been asked to be brief, but I don't want to offend anybody. If I forget anybody's name, please excuse me. No duty is more solicitous than that of returning thanks. I feel good to get the opportunity to propose vote of thanks on this inaugural ceremony of project on establishment, revival, and operation of legal aid clinics in Jammu and Kashmir. I, on behalf of the School of Law, convey profound reverence and ardent thanks to our chief guest, Honorable Shri Justice N. Koteshwar Singh, the Honorable Chief Justice, High Court of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, and Patron-in-Chief, Jammu and Kashmir Legal Service Authority, for accepting our invitation and for being here with us today. Your thoughts have enlightened our minds and will serve as an inspiration. A special thanks to our guest of honor, Honorable Chief Justice Tashi Ravastan, Judge, High Court of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, and Executive Chairperson, Jammu and Kashmir Legal Service Authority. We feel honored to have you with us today. Professor Nilofer Khan, Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Kashmir, and our guest of honor, your constant support has radiated an unending energy within us. We will ever remain grateful to you, Professor Khan. Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Brara, our special guest, School of Law feels honored to have you with us today. Your presence has added a new color to this occasion. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to thank Professor Farooq Ahmed Masoodi, Dean Academic Affairs, University of Kashmir, Dr. Nisar Ahmed Mir, Registrar, University of Kashmir, Professor Irshad Ahmed Nauchu, Dean Research, Professor Anisa Kaul, Dean Students Welfare, Professor Khurshid Ahmed Bhatt, Dean College Development, for sparing time for today's event. Professor Bande, Handedale School of Law, we thank you for your constant support and help. We are highly grateful to dignitaries from High Court, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, Salsa and Dolsa for being here today with us. I'm thankful to all deans, heads, directors, coordinators, officers, especially Director Admissions Farooq Ahmed Mir, for being with us to grace the occasion. We are highly thankful to the administrative staff of High Court of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. The School of Law is highly thankful to Mr. Fahim Aslam, PRO, University of Kashmir. We are also thankful to the administrative staff, AMMRC team, proctoral staff, Gandhi Bhavan staff, Landscape Estates, University of Kashmir, for your assistance and support. I am thankful to my fraternity, both teaching staff, especially my senior faculty, Professor Muhammad Ayub Dar, Professor Muhammad Hussain, and Professor Mushtaq Ahmed Dar, non-teaching staff and library staff. I'm highly thankful to all these principals from different colleges and dean from Central University of Kashmir. I would like to thank members from print and electronic media, my very dear students, research scholars, and above all, volunteers. You have worked very hard to make today's event possible within a short period of time. I thank you all. Finally, my special thanks to Dr. Yasin, not only for anchoring, but also for his untiring efforts to make this event a success. Thank you all. Please excuse me if I have forgotten somebody's name. I once again thank you all the dignitaries present here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I would request everyone to stand for national anthem. Thank you, everyone. With this, we have concluded the ceremony. Now I request our guests to join us for a group photo outside the Gandhi Bhavan. I request everyone to remain seated while our guests leave.